Hello, Greek students. My name is Greg Wolf. I'm the co-creator of gntvocab.com. Dr. Plummer asked me to share with you an instructional video on how to use gntvocab.com as you learn the book of Jude with his video class. So if you're new to gntvocab.com, when you go to the site, you'll get a login page. You'll have to either sign up or sign in. You can use any email address and a password. Keep in mind that these accounts are only required in order for us to track your progress as you go through the vocabulary of the Greek New Testament. So once you've signed up, go ahead and sign into this Greek New Testament vocabulary tool. What we've done here is we've simulated a brand new account. Now, there are lots of things that you can see on this which may be unfamiliar to you. First of all, it gives you a list of total words learned, your accuracy, and then a slider which we call the learning rate. If you're a new user to gntvocab.com, it will be set to around 80%, which means that you'll be quizzed on words. And once you get all of those words correct about 6 times each, you'll be given new words to learn. You can also opt out of learning proper names. Some people feel that it's not really necessary to learn proper names in Greek because they translate pretty easily. But we have that option available if you want to learn the proper names, or unclick it and then you will not learn any proper names. We also, on the desktop version, have a button for giving to the Daily Dose of Greek Ministries. So please, we encourage you, if you find this tool helpful, to make a tax-deductible donation to the Daily Dose of Greek Ministries. Because you'll be learning the book of Jude, we want you to go up to the filters. By default, we list all of the books of the New Testament. And as you can see, each of those books lists the number of words that are unique to that book. So in Jude, there are a total of 226 words. So if you want to learn all the vocabulary of Jude, you'll only have to learn 226 Greek words. Now we're going to go through the learning process again, and for the instructional purposes, we will set our learning rate to 100%, which allows us to learn the words as quickly as possible. So we've already checked Jude as the book that we're learning, and we will start learning. Now, you're not typically going to do this, but I want to go back up here to the review list now. You'll see that the review list shows you a list of 20 words. These are the 20 most common words in the Greek New Testament found in the book of Jude. And this will be your initial learning list. So when we go back to learning, we'll start learning and we'll click through these words and I'll show you how to use this app. The first time you see a word, or if you've recently missed it, you'll see the Greek word along with its definition. All you have to do is tap on the card and move to the next card. Now remember, we had 20 words that we were learning, so we'll have to click through the first 20 cards. Since we've gone through all 20 cards with the definitions, which you should have been studying, you now come to the quizzing portion of the app. You'll be given a Greek word and 6 possible definitions. So we know that autos means he, she, it, self, or the same. So we click on the correct answer and it automatically forwards to the next card, gar, for because. So now I want to go back up to the review list here. You'll notice that we still have the 20 words, But these two words that we've seen already, the learned status has a half circle and it's colored in yellow. That means that we've learned it halfway. Remember, we've put the learning rate slider all the way to the right, so we only need to see these words twice before they're considered learned. Now let's go back to the Learning tab and keep learning. Now, because we've gone through that list, we're going to go back to our review list and see what it looks like. Notice that all of the words now have that half moon, except the two words that we've learned because we've seen them twice, gar and autos. So let's complete our learning. Now notice that time through the list, once we completed, we're now given new words to learn. So we'll be giving 5 words at a time, which are new words. And again, if we go up to our review list, we see these 5 new words listed here for a total of 25 words. Now let's go back to our filters because I want to show you an important aspect of this app. Notice that in the book of Jude, we have learned 20 words of the total 226 words. But also notice that many of the books of the New Testament also have 20 words that have been learned. This shows you that all of your learning applies to the entire Greek New Testament. So as you complete your work, you gain vocabulary of all the books of the New Testament. Now, this is a screen that shows what your learning will look like if you've learned all the words in Jude. Notice how Jude has 226 of 226 words learned, and the color has changed from red to white. Notice also how some of these other books, like 2nd John, has turned a yellow. So these words, the books, change colors from red to yellow to green, and then ultimately to white when you've learned all the words. But notice that, for example, the book of Luke, you have learned 156 words from the book of Luke just by learning all the words of Jude. The book of Revelation, Hebrews, have well over 100 words that are learned. So again, once you learn the words from Jude, you're well on your way to building your entire Greek New Testament vocabulary.